good morning. It's time to make some 2-ingredient biscuits, except I'm going to add a number 3 to it. So 3 ingredients, Buttermilk Blueberry Biscuits. So easy. It's a game changer when it comes to buttermilk biscuits. I've got another video out where I just made the first time I ever made this. I woke up one morning thinking about, well, I can do this. It's buttermilk and self-rising flour. So easy, so easy. I've got my oven already preheated to 425. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, back with you. I'm going to do 2 cups of self-rising flour. This is the recipe that I made about a month ago. I had seen a lot of 2-ingredient biscuits out there, but most of them had heavy cream. I never have heavy cream. There's 1 cup. And that is a little shy, so this is very unforgiving. That ought to make up for the shyness of the first 2 that I did. Like I said, this is so easy. Next ingredients to the party, buttermilk. I try to keep down my utensils dirtiness, so we're right here in the same one. And it's hard to go wrong with this, because if it's too wet, add a little bit more flour to it. If it's too dry, add a little bit more milk. I mean, literally, and this, you can take this right here and make your biscuits. It'll be kind of ragged looking at first. You can see it's starting to come together and clumping up. I'll probably have to put a little bit more milk. I did the last time I cooked this. So, but right now, let's get some blueberries added to it. These are frozen. I think if you tried to do fresh blueberries that were not frozen, you would be in a messy ordeal. I think you'd have blueberry biscuits, all right, but they would be blue. And let's get this baby open here. How many? Heck, I don't know. I'm just going to stroll them out through here so I know that it's blueberry. It's maybe a good half a cup. Blue hands and I think one of my blueberries jumped out and ran away. Like, oh, I don't want to be cooked today. All right, we're going to add a little bit of more buttermilk, just enough to bring this in together. When I cooked these before, I mean, not the blueberry ones, just the regular biscuits like this, oh my God. I cooked them in a cast iron skillet. I put a little bit of butter on the bottom, which I've already done. Had a great crust on the bottom. I wanted a little bit more color on the top. They were done, but I put them back in the oven and checked them, and turned on the broiler for about 5 minutes until I got a great brown topping on it. Put a little bit of butter on them, and baby, they were ready to rock and roll. And this is just about where it needs to be. I mean, literally. I'm just making a few biscuits. It's probably about 3 biscuits or so for my wife and I. I don't want to overwork that. I don't want them to be, well, I guess they can be blueberry. It's blueberry biscuits, so I don't guess that's going to hurt it. Well, let me get a drink of coffee here and grab some wax paper. try to keep my work area kind of clean anyway. All right, back with you. Do this one more stir. I'm gonna put a little flour out here. The reason I say baking biscuits is not rocket science, because every day, depending on the temperature, the humidity, lots of things to take into consideration. You're in there wanting to bake, and you don't want to have to get a computer out just to figure out how to bake a couple of biscuits. That's why people have gone to the canned biscuits. They didn't want to mess with this. This is pretty easy right here. So I'm going to take and just turn these out. All right, get over here, Blueberry. You can run. You can run, but you can't hide. I see you right there. And you see, it's already starting to come together. Get this in the sink. I have a very small area to work in, so I try to keep it clean as I go. All right. I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my hands, because I'm not going to roll this out much. I'm not even going to roll it out. I'm going to knead it just a little bit. Just to make sure it's all together. And it's going to have a little bit more flour, boys and girls. It's a little too damp. Like I said, this ain't rocket science here. Our grandparents made biscuits, forefathers made biscuits. They made them in campfires and cooked them on top of the stove, and cooked them in cast iron skillets, which I have before. And I may repeat this process and cook it in a cast iron skillet sometime. I think it's kind of moist just because I've got the frozen blueberries in it. But it's coming together good now. You can see that. I'm not going to overwork this. I'm not going to get in here. There you go. Got another trying to jump out over here. Yeah, it's coming together really good now. So I've just rough kneaded this. I'm going to fold her in one more time on itself, and fold her in one more time over here. I want to make some big thick biscuits, so I'm just going to pat this down to about 3/4 of an inch. My trusty dusty biscuit cutter, an old tin can with both ends cut out. I've had this for years. My wife absolutely hates this. She says, "Oh, that is so redneck." I was like, "Hey, you got it, but you love the biscuits, don't you?" You can either cut these out, or you could take a knife and just, you could square it up on the sides. Let's say pie or square, so you can square it up and just cut 4 square biscuits out. I'm going to do it with this. They're not going to be completely. See how many I can get out of here. Oh goodness, that's going to do good. Okay, so I've got a cast iron skillet over here to the side. I'll show you just a minute. Oh, there's some pretty boys there. I'm going to lay them in my cast iron skillet. I've got some melted butter in the bottom. And there's always that thing, you want the sides touching on the biscuits. I like the sides touching. I think it where the sides touch, it makes them hold. I personally believe it makes it hold in the moisture better. I mean, that's just my personal belief. I have no idea. That's sure not a proven fact. But I just know if you put a biscuit out there by itself and bake it just by itself, that it crusts all the way around. Maybe that holds in the moisture. I don't know. I don't like them crusty all the way around. I like the using this leftover here. I like to know that I made a fluffy biscuit. It's risen very good. So, girls, ain't that pretty? I've got a little bit left, little shaggy ingredients here. I might have to just make Mr. Man one. He actually loves blueberries, so. Alright. There'll be no cutting on this one. So every bit of this goodness is going to be used. And fill my skillet. I'll be right back. Alright, back with you. Here's my cast iron skillet. You can see it's been buttered in the bottom. And that's a thing of beauty. These are going to take about 10 minutes, I think. I'll check them at about 8 and see how they're doing. And if it needs a little more cooking, I'll bring you back for that. If not, we'll pull them out of the oven and I'll taste one of these babies. First time I ever made blueberry buttermilk biscuits. First time ever making buttermilk blueberry biscuits at all, especially this 3 ingredients one. So back in just a little bit, I'm going to go put this in the oven. Alright, let's see if I can do this one-handed without getting burnt. They're starting to get brown on top. I want them to be a little brown. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm doing this one-handed with my phone. So I've got some butter up here. I've just let it set on top and it's melting away. I believe the biscuits are cooked. I just going to tell you, it's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes to cook these. I have no recipe because I just made them the one time. I just made them the one time and I didn't add blueberries, and this is the second time I made them and I added blueberries, and they're frozen blueberries, so I'm sure that changes the cook time. So let me slide those back in, get a little suntan on them, and I'll just turn the broiler on, so it won't take long and those babies will be brown and ready to go. Alright, man, they're looking good. I need to check and see if they're done though. Let me take a fork and get in the center of this one. Well, they're crunchy on top. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're done. That's burning. Not only they're done, they're pretty. Yep. Here it is. That hot pan right on top of my countertop. Yeah, I don't care. When I put these countertops in years ago, maybe 25 years ago or 30 years ago, I wanted something that would last my lifetime. And it almost made it last year, but it's still going on. And I did granitized metal. That's why you can see the color in it. I don't worry about anything burning, water getting on it, acid getting on it. Just wipe it off and keep it going. Let me get this camera up here so I can get a bite of one of these. My mouth is watering. I can't even talk. There she is, boys and girls. Let me peel one of these up. Which do I want to try? This little one I think is Big Man's. This one here, it's going to be hot, 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 hot. It's going to be Daddy Bears. All right. You seeing it the first time like I am. Crispy, crunchy on top. Crispy, beautiful bottom. Get this down here a little bit better. And I'm just going to kind of pry this baby open using my old skidded knife I made when I was 10 years old. Why not? It works good. I'm in here by myself in the kitchen, and that's hot. I guess they're 400 something degrees when you're baking them. That's am I going to stop opening? Heck no, I'm going to break it on open. Oh yeah. Look at that. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna have to have a bite of it. Just, oh, the smell is wonderful. You can smell that buttermilk and the biscuit smell and the blueberries. By the time my wife gets up, there might not be any left. No, there'll be a few left anyway. I'm gonna try it without any butter on it. It holds together great. And you can see it. I mean, I had to cut it to cut through, but it's tender on the center. Okay. You want to make sure an old dude ain't shut up, ain't saying anything, give him a piece of biscuit. Let's try this together. My goodness. That is so good. Dang, that's good. Let me get some butter and put on this. All right, back with you. You can see my honey butter. I made this on a different video. It's set up really good. Alright, so you'll know I eat my own food. I'm still kicking. Man. Here, big man. My boy's down here. He said, Daddy, that's pretty good. I didn't even get it down there good. He jumped up and took it out of my hand. Goodness gracious, that's so good. These biscuits are wonderful. Why would anybody want to cut butter and make it into pea size and roll it out and all that? You've got a great buttermilk biscuit. It tastes like buttermilk. Because I cooked it, I cooked it pretty hot on the bottom in the cast iron skillet. I put the broiler on, the brown it on top. The insides are chewy, but not hard. Got lots of moisture in them. So good. Get right here, crooked here. I'm not paying attention because I'm paying attention to this food. And here's the deal. A lot of people put fruit, blueberries, I've seen them put them into bread and stuff. They coat them in sugar. It kind of gives them some resistance. If it's a real wet batter, they don't all fall to the bottom. I did not do this. You see me, I took them right out of the bag, put them in here. Got to make this recipe. It's really good. You can see the inside's fluffy. Well, thanks for being along for the ride this morning at my breakfast time. I'm fixing to shut the camera off and have me some biscuits with blueberries. Yum. Also, if you want to find my group on Facebook, it's the same name, A Country Boy Can Cook on Facebook. It's private. There's about 1,500 or 1,600 members if you'd like to be part of that. Lots of recipes, videos, pictures, and I would love to have you in it. Make a comment on YouTube, say, hey, I'd like to be in the deal. That way when you go over there, I'll be sure to let you in. We just don't let any advertising, nobody selling sunglasses or timeshares or trying to sign you up for old age plan or any kind of stuff. So anyway, just go to my Facebook page and ask to be in, and I'll get you in. And thanks for being part of the old dudes world. I do appreciate it. Keep watching. You got to come get some of this. Oh my goodness. 3 ingredients: blueberry buttermilk biscuits, buttermilk, self-rising flour, and frozen blueberries, butter and honey. honey mixed together. Makes honey butter. These are just delicious like you would not believe.